price elasticity of demand? Answers the question. Firm's profit increase with an increase in price. The first thing to keep in mind is the price equation, which is unit price times quantity sold minus fixed cost plus variable cost. Price elasticity itself, the equation is the percent demand change over the percent price change, and it is often negative. So what it really is looking at is how much your demand for your product is going to change as you increase or you decrease price, which is important for retailers to know. Cross price elasticity shows the price elasticity between complement products. So let's say that you have oatmeal and raisins, and it's very normal in this example that everybody eats oatmeal with raisins. So they're complementary products. As a result, you would look at the change in demand of oatmeal divided by the percent change in demand, the percent change in price of raisins, and you'll be able to get the cross price elasticity, which shows you kind of how your price is elastic dependent on the complement product. The change in price, so like the change in price in raisins really affects the demand of oatmeal, and that is often negative. That is negative as well. Competitive price elasticity is for competitors and substitutes. It's important to note that the closer the substitute is, the higher the elasticity is likely to be. And as people can easily switch from one good to another, if even a minor price change is made, it's kind of a significant effect. So the equation for that is percent change in demand A divided by percent change in price C. And the way I like to think about it is you have Colgate and Crest, and let's say Colgate is having a sale and they change their price. The demand in Crest will be affected by that because a lot of people, it's still toothpaste, and a lot of people can get their minty fresh breath on with Colgate's, and so the demand is going to be affected by that. It's also important for this to realize that elastic means that the price is sensitive, and a small price flux will have like a huge impact on demand, and inelastic means it's price insensitive, and a small price flux has like a small or like no effect on demand. Consumers are usually less sensitive for price increases for necessities rather than wants, which makes sense because necessities are necessities, you need them. And since this sensitivity is influenced by consumer income, substitutes, and cross-product price elasticity, another thing to look at is when the elasticity is 0, it is perfectly inelastic. When it is between 0 and 1, it is inelastic relatively. When it is equal to 1, it is unit elastic. And when it is between 1 and infinity, it is elastic relatively. And when it is equal to infinity, it is perfectly inelastic. Moving on to customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value focuses on turning customer service into customer profitability, which means how do you change a customer into a source of revenue continually. The customer relationship is very important, and management focuses on to make sure that they can keep the customer so they can keep getting more profits. You have 3 levels of contact with customers: acquisition, development, and retention. Is that you also want to keep your customers satisfied, so the objective of that is to attract, satisfy, and again retain customers. So the customer lifetime value, the actual definition, is the likely value of a firm of all profits generated from a customer over like the purchasing life. So how much can the future, I'm going to edit this out. The likely value to a firm of all profits generated from a customer, so one person, over their purchasing customer lifespan. So the present value of a stream of future profits expected over the customer's purchases throughout their life is probably a better way to say it. And it's important because if you increase customer retention by 1%, it can increase profitability between 5 and 25%, which is huge profit-wise. To calculate it, we need past purchase behaviors, gross margins on purchase behavior, cost of servicing customers, I have a little sheet that I'm about to hold up. I don't know if it's going to work, but here is the formula. I really hope this shows up right. How to fix it. Would it be like... Okay, well, okay, that doesn't work. Well, here is the customer lifetime value formula. I really hope that this comes out looking the right way. Right now, I can't tell. But with that formula in mind, T is the number of years expected to do business with a customer. Profit profit equals the annual profits or gross margins. Retention rate equals the percent of customers who continue to purchase from the firm from one period to another. I equals the discount rate, i.e. We adjust for the fact money is worth more now than it is in the future. Then the next thing that we can look at is the acquisition costs. Acquisition costs are cost divided by response rate. You also have the survival rate, which is the retention rate to the number of years minus 1. Each year expected profits, which is the survival rate times the purchase margin minus the cost of like mailing a catalog, let's say. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Then you have the net present value equals the expected profits over 1 plus the discount rate to the number of years. So that's customer lifetime value. There's also the other formula, which is CLV equals the summation of the margin of a customer generates in year A minus the CRM cost targeted to the customer in year A times R, which is the retention rate, to times R to A minus 1, which is the survival rate for year A. Then you have minus AC divided by 1 plus I, which is again the interest rate to A, and A would equal 1 in this case because it's 1 year. And if MA and CA are relatively fixed, we can assume the infinite economic life. So it simplifies the equation, which is the equation that I personally like, which is M minus C divided by 1 minus R plus I minus all of that minus AC. The strategic implications of CLV means that you need to devise an optimal strategies for individuals or groups of customers. It minimizes the waste in promotion costs because promotion is kind of costly and you don't want to be just promoting everywhere and sending out all your money, all your revenue when you really don't want to do that. Create long-term perspective of customer bases, so you just create long-term customers. and the evolving relationship with a certain customer. So the way I like to think of it is like my mom and Macy's. My mom's obsessed with Macy's, and they've done a really good job of offering her deals, promoting specifically to her, creating a trusting customer relationship. She knows she's going to get a good product at a good time, at a good price from Macy's. So she even gets birthday wishes from Macy's. Like my mom's always at Macy's. So they definitely have an evolving relationship with her. And I hope this video was instructful. Just as a side note, because I know I have a little bit of an oddness with talking, I can put this up here. Don't know if you can read it. I certainly hope so. But if not, I can always add in graphics, I guess. But thank you so much.